Hey guys, how's it going? Another day at Eschenspiel, another amazing group of games that I want to show you, but there's some exciting things as well. For instance, I had an interview with Jamie from Shadowborn Games talking about Avalon, their next game for Kickstarter coming out in 2024 at some point. He's going to tell you all about it. There's some exciting things, some new things with the minis they're doing as well that I don't think has really been done too much before. There's only one other game I can think of that's ever done this on Kickstarter, so super excited to tell you all about that. So we'll start with that and then go look at a whole bunch of really cool stuff that I'm looking into, I'm going to be getting into. And I had a lot of other stuff as well off camera when it comes to like gaming sessions and stuff like that. I'll be talking to you about that as the days go on. I also played a game with Go on board that I can't really talk about, but we also went over The Witcher. So there's a nice, really great video. That'll be a whole separate video for you guys as well. So there's a ton of content coming out, some new stuff for you. So stay tuned for that, of course. But for now, let's go and hear from Jamie about Avalon and then go into some of the cool stuff I saw.
Hey guys, I'm with Jamie from Shadowborn Games, and he has a new game out, not Oathsworn related, but still very cool. Can you tell us about it?
Hey guys, so this is Avalon, the Riven Veil, and this is going to be an area control game with a load of exploration and some prophecy fulfillment and all kinds of good stuff. It's a game that was, it's a bit of a weird one. So this game was I got COVID last summer. And when I was completely out of it, tripping balls, I had a fever dream, and this game came out of that dream.
Oh, okay.
And so it's kind of been niggling at me for a while. So I've been sketching things out. We finally got it to the point where we can start showing it a bit. So it's going to be coming to Kickstarter next year at some point. Depends how quickly I can whip.
January 1st.
Yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? I've just got to whip these artists quicker and together because they're making some incredible stuff. We got Pedro Nunez working on this project, who's famous for doing a lot of Games Workshop covers and things like that. He's just fantastic artist. And so the story of the game is that in history, in real history, there's the first mention of King Arthur and Mordred it just says in one history annal that Arthur and Mordred fell at Camden Field, and literally for 200 years after that there's never a mention of them again until some monk picks up the story and starts writing it. And so this was kind of like, well, what sort of story could you come up with if you explore that idea of them falling? And so what happens is that it starts with the idea that Mordred and Arthur fell at Camden Field, but Mordred didn't die. Arthur's body is taken back to Avalon by the Lady of the Lake. And Mordred, he didn't die, but he was riven by Excalibur. He became the Shattered Sun. He's this badass Dark Lord necromancer type, and he follows Arthur's body, his funeral bier, back to Avalon. Now, Avalon is this mystical realm where the Fae rule, and it's a place that mortal men are not ever supposed to cast eyes on. It's this completely land of mystical beasts and things. And basically, with Mordred, because he's this thing of pure darkness, when he managed to follow the way to Avalon, he stepped foot on holy ground and he destroyed the veil between the mortal realm and Avalon.
They kind of hid it from access.
And it's this land like completely enclosed in mist. But when Mordred got there, he wrote the veil is now riven, and it's like a beacon to all those with the second sight. They can see this now. So all the factions of the world are pouring into Avalon, either to defile it or to defend it. And so we're going to be releasing more information about the different factions, but we can say right now you've got the Knights of the Round Table led by Guinevere, who's she knows about the prophecy of the once and future king, and she and all the knights are they're in grieving, they're in mourning, but they want to go and find Arthur again, so they're going to go to Avalon and see if they can do that. Sure. And and then you've got Mordred as well, leading this massive undead army, and he's going to Avalon to try and suck up as much magical energy as he can, because he's shattered and he wants to become whole again.
So you can play as the Mordred, ultimate necromancer faction.
Oh yes, there's going to be some cool stuff there. He's going to be this he's going to be there, and each of this game's quite asymmetric. So each of the factions is doing different things, and we're going to be revealing more about that there. But so the undead, for instance, might be they might be corrupting the land and trying to build up this great undead hordes and things to take over the magical essence of the island. And the knights are trying to find Arthur, and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, it's going to be there's going to be a card-driven system. It's going to be nice and sweet.
You can see it on here, right? A little bit.
Yeah. So we're going to be again. show some more off. This is really just a quick teaser, just to give people an idea this thing's coming. If you guys want to sign up to it, or not sign up to it, but sign up to the newsletter to hear about the game and more information as we get into more development, then you can go to www.shadowborn-games.com.
And we'll link to that in the description below, of course.
Cool, yeah. We have a little future projects page there, and you can sign up for a newsletter, and that just let you know what more information as we go. But yeah, excited about this one. This is
perfect.
I've wanted to make for a long time.
Now, word on the street is there's some kind of fancy plastic thing you're doing with these.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, so kind of cool. So one of the things that we wanted to do is that this is really a high magic world. That it's a world where the divine and the mystical meet, and so there's lots of this kind of really cool magical artifacts and powers you're going to be able to get. And one of the ways we're manifesting that is on the models, where we're going to have our sort of standard models and these really cool sculpts, but then we're going to be adding these highlights in transparent glowing plastic that's going to come through, and so you're going to be able to see all this sort of magical essence on the model. So you see it here with Guinevere. She's got this lovely golden rays coming off of her.
That's not what's on the render. That'll be on the mini.
That'll be on the mini, yeah. That'll be on the mini as well.
Very cool.
And so yeah, we've got Mordred as well here, because as I said, when Mordred was hit by Excalibur, you can see he's got all this magical essence pouring off of him, and so he's going to have this glowing sword, and the half of his face is torn off and glowing away as he goes, and his cloak is made of living souls, and yeah, it's gonna be cool.
Love it. That's great. That's cool. All right, so sometime next year, newsletter, sign up now. Obviously, more information coming.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, cool. And it looks like we got, from what we can tell here, some fog of war, some exploration, discovery a little bit, right? It's a little bit about kind of the cards, and maybe you can pause and look at something like that, but more will be coming.
More is coming.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, thank you, Jamie. I appreciate it. Thanks, guys.
See you later, guys.
Bye.
So this is Conquest, and it was pretty cool. They had obviously a giant feather T-Rex, which is always awesome. There's a lot of great models here, and it's nice to see these games really pick up, especially as of late. I think it's really cool to see the hobby kind of alive and well. The grass underneath that dinosaur makes me laugh, though. This is Bad Karma's on display at the Tebaru station, and it was very popular. A lot of people were playing it all the time, and it looks actually pretty good. There's a lot of minis here, a lot of different terrain and stuff like that. So happy to see that kind of taking off and getting the support. I know they got some funding and stuff like that, but it's just good to see any campaign at this point actually, finish. And that's what it looks like it's doing here. So that works. This was kind of a neat one. It's like a post-apocalyptic skirmish game, I guess, but this leads up to one that I am actually probably buying into. This is what does it say? Ascending Fate. It looks kind of neat. But then they have this Freebooter's Fate. Apparently it's been around for a while, but it recently had 2 different Kickstarters, or not, I guess recently, but either way, it's been getting more and more support. It's pretty popular here in Germany. The models are amazing. I'm going to be showing off quite a few of them here, but it's kind of like a Caribbean, like skirmish game. It's all card based instead of dice combat wise, and plays on a smaller board. But the factions and the sculpts and stuff are just really, really, really impressive. I was amazed by this. Obviously, the amazing painting helps as well. But I'll actually probably get into this game, so I'm gonna go back and buy some more. We just bought a few models, but I'll bag look at that, the blowfish on the end of a spear there. I'll get some of the starter kits or whatever and see if I like the game. But the models themselves, again, just super impressive. The theme around them and all that is really cool. So you have the actual Imperial Navy, and then of course you have the Amazons, and you have the goblins, and you have these secret order masked people, and you have necromancer kind of stuff and mercenaries. And look at this guy, he ripped his jacket off or whatever it looks like. He's just bulking out there, turning into Jekyll and Hyde kind of stuff. Just really, really cool stuff. So was really impressed by this. I don't know if it's popular outside of Germany, but it's going to be popular in my house, I think. It looks really cool. Awesome crocodile, of course, as well. So definitely impressed by just all of these. Very, very, very cool. And it's been around, I guess, like I said, for a while. So it's great to see this kind of hobby stuff, I guess, supported so well. I was talking about the Conquest, and then here, the pirates. How could I forget about the pirate faction? Of course there's a pirate faction. Because, why wouldn't there? And again, amazing minis. Just really, really good stuff. Super duper cool. So yeah, excited to get into this. All right, and now here we have some really, really cool minis as well. This is at the Archon Studio with their new logo and everything. They have a huge section here because they have so many games. I don't know if I'm going to get this or not. So obviously they have their He-Man stuff, right? Their Masters of the Universe Battleground and whatnot. And that's normally only available in Europe. So if I want to take it to America, I need to get it here. But they had all the Rampart on display. They have Heroes of Might and Magic 3, so that's exciting to see as well. Here you can see it right here. A ton of different boxes. It's amazing how many they actually did for this game. They kind of went all out on this, which was impressive. There's actually more that I'm showing here on the left there. They got their Rampart set up and, are showing off of the dungeons and lasers and just all the different things you can do with all that, which is really cool. All the different models, a ton. It's amazing how productive they've been over the last few years. And they've delivered these. Like, these are Kickstarters that didn't actually deliver. And I think it's one of the reasons they're doing so well. They're making cool stuff. They're actually making it and then actually delivering it. And it's kind of a weird concept these days. The Trask there is just amazing. It's so big. It's ridiculous. Now here's some really cool stuff. This is at the Battle Systems booth. And so, of course, they have Maladum on display. It's still pre-production. It's actually not as good quality as it will be. I'm about to show it off here in a moment. But this allows them to get all the measurements right and everything like that. So it's still really useful. But the people there were super knowledgeable about the game, and it really got me excited to play. I think it sounds really, really cool. Super awesome. So right over here is the Maladum. We're about to go there right now. Yeah, very impressive. The minis look good. They look fine. Not like the highest quality ever, but definitely, board game, totally okay. Obviously, the terrain is a highlight here, and just the table presence and the immersion that you can get from that. Awesome as well. Here is Eve. This is by Titan Forge, which is amazing to see them go from 3D printing only to these even IP board games and stuff like that. All right, and then here you can see a big battle that they're able to do. This is, I think, the ultimate battle that you could do for Eve. I think this is more of a normal battle here. So they have kind of I don't know if it's two different game modes or not. If there's a lot more tokens and stuff on display here. Maybe they're just showing it off there. I'm not exactly sure. But they also have, of course, their 3D print stuff on display as well. One of the cool things they do about that is they also do some Warhammer adjacent kind of stuff. So things you could use for your Warhammer minis if you wanted to kind of sub them out and stuff, which is really cool. And of course, they have their just amazing normal stuff as well. That turtle in the background there, a highlight for me. Love the turtle. I think he looks super awesome. That whole swamp faction just looks super cool. Final Fantasy VII Materia Hunter. They finally have the Materia Hunter thing there. And as you can see, it's a card-based game. Of course, they have the Chocobo's Dungeon. That's been on display for a while. They seem to make all these games, Full Metal Alchemist, and then never release them. I don't know when that's happening. This was interesting. So this is a 3D printing company, but do you see those stacks of 3D prints? So my understanding is what these guys are doing here now is actually really making more mass market, kind of stuff possible where you can actually, this is Revenant's Run minis, which you've seen Lazy Squire Games. They designed and sculpted them, obviously, and are releasing these minis here. Again, Warhammer adjacent, but you saw the trays of prints, and it's just really impressive to see, like that right there, how much they can do. It's obviously still not like Chinese factory size, but it's not exactly small either, right? So it'll be interesting to see if this kind of if it's going to be CEOcast or this. I'm not exactly sure. Eld Fall Chronicles. So excited to see them have a booth here. And again, I love showing off these indies. They're just really impressive here. They have their dungeon crawl on display as well. They actually have demos going for that, which is super cool. This is the skirmish stuff that they do here, but they kind of walked me through the dungeon crawl and how that works when it comes to taking the combat system of the skirmish game and then putting it towards actually doing a dungeon crawl. And really the only difference was movement and range and how that works, because also you're not measuring anything anymore. There's that dungeon crawl here. This is exactly what that is. And pretty impressive. Again, prototype level stuff. The minis are, I think, mostly done there. There's a mix of them, I guess. So these were a certain kind that they weren't necessarily happy with. Then their painted ones that you saw there are done in a kind of a newer type of Unicool system, I think it's called. Very impressive, kind of resin-like, but not brittle, right? So you can actually like bend the blades a little bit. They're much more easier to play with as a board game. So very impressive to see that there. Of course, the design and all that is stellar and stand out. And I like these unique games, I think, a lot more these days. So anything like this that just looks different, I tend to get drawn towards myself. I can't help it. So here's a game here. I don't remember what this game is. For the life of me, I can't. So if you know what this is, let me know. I literally cannot remember. I'm going to go and try and check out again today to actually get a name for you guys. But let me know in the comments below if you know what this is from, so that we can know. 'Cause I cannot remember. It looks cool. It looks different and unique, which I think is really cool. Of course, we have amazing terrain here. This is by the Dwarven Forge. So this is all pre-painted. This is exactly how you'd buy it. It's amazing. As you can see, that little area there, $137. That's a special. Very pricey, expensive, and absolutely gorgeous. So it's one of those things where if you have the money and you really want to pimp out a D&D session, or whatever kind of setup you have for your board game or anything like that, you cannot beat Dwarven Forge. It's amazing. Now this was weird. I kept seeing, I only recorded I think 2, but I saw maybe 3 or 4 other ones. These table companies. There are so many game table companies I'd never even heard of before. I don't know if it's just this like new thing they're doing or what. I don't know if it's a new tactic to do. I know you guys asked if Monopoly was there. Of course Monopoly's there. There's your Monopoly, a whole store for Monopoly. The rest is just a few cool things that I noticed. This hand-painted and sculpted statues and stuff like that. Just kind of really amazing work. They're obviously super expensive. But one of the cool things they had, I didn't show this off in the background there, is full-size Warhammer tables, which, speaking of which, of course, another Space Marine, got to take a picture of those. Those are always fun to turn a corner and, oh my gosh, there's a giant Space Marine. A ton more to look at tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. There's plenty more cool stuff I want to take a look at. I needed to take a look at like Hybris. I know they're there, and a few other things, chip theory games I need to take a look at. I started looking into Ludus Magnus Studio and got a little busy, couldn't go back to it. Had a demo session I played with Jeremy Howard and stuff like that when it comes to Dante. So had some fun there. I'll talk to you guys about that as well. But that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. It was super exciting to see more, Shadowborn games coming out. That sounds kind of weird, but you know what I mean. And I'll let you guys go. Have a great one. Take care. Bye, guys.